Jim, back from France from your bike ride in the Pyrenees, how was it?
It was brutal, horrendous, wet, cold. It was tough. It was tough. It was 12 hours of hard graft.
You've prepared for several months for it with Brian Facer. Doing hill climbing in Wales and doing 100 miles through the Cotswolds. But can anything actually prepare you mentally and physically for the Col de Tourmalet?
No, it can't, and I think you're absolutely right. You can go out round England, round Wales, and it doesn't compare. I think the distance is a long way anyway, 125 miles. I think just to sit on a bike, it is quite a long way. But it's the mountains, and it's say physical aspect of things for actually cycling for 12 hours continuous. But then the mental, you do one peak, come down, you get cold, you got to recover, and then you're looking up at the second peak, and you've got another 2 still to go. And once you get into that sort of 8, 9, 10 hours, you're certainly ready for home. Is
it the toughest thing you've ever done?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, I've done a few sort of silly things, and a few years ago I did run the marathon, and that's a decent endurance event, but nothing comes anywhere close to that event.
Do you have a newfound admiration or an enhanced admiration for the pros, because they came through on Wednesday on the same course and did it in 5.5 hours, and which is twice the average speed? Does that give you a new admiration for what they go through on the tour?
Yeah, it does, and I think I've watched some of the highlights on ITV4 and looked at that, and it's short, and you see them go at a really good pace, but you see them come, finish, and get off and give their interviews, and they're all relaxed, and to actually go over the course, to go over those hills using your own steam, basically, is an absolute credit to those athletes, and I certainly won't be suggesting to my son or daughter that they make a career out of road biking, road racing.
In terms of the bike, I mean, being on a Trek bike, did that and the Trek bike that was given to you for it, did that make a difference to it in terms of a normal road bike?
I think the bike was fantastic. I think to have it purpose-built, custom-made, for me, really helped. And I think if you're going to spend 12 hours in one position, you need it to be comfortable. So it was lightweight. It worked really well. I had no problems there mechanically. So I think a big thank you to Trek for helping out there.
Just lastly, 8,000 started, less than 5,000 finished. Are you aware that there are people dropping out at the back when you're going, or are you just solely focused on what's in front of you?
I think you are aware that there's strugglers. I think as we came down the col and got to the bottom, to the food stations, you see people shivering there. You see them under the blankets, and you know that they're in trouble. I remember one bloke who went for a bar, and he actually couldn't physically open the bar. It was too cold, and you see them drop out. But I wasn't. None of us were aware of the extent. But we did think we'd get round a lot, or hoping we'd get round a lot earlier and quicker than what we did. But it took us 12 hours, so we were actually only 40 minutes ahead of the old wagon.